Rizwan, looking at, again, this from a very different lens, you as a service provider in fintech always are challenged that prove that this is worth the money and the effort which bank has to do, but more importantly, return on investments on what you are trying to propose. So when you look at digital adoption and banks ask you to prove before doing the project on a digital adoption or a quality assurance, how is the view this is viewed at Explio and yourself?
So thanks, Chetan, for having me here, and thank you everyone for attending us this session as well. Very interesting so far from the esteemed bankers of Oman. I mean, cannot disagree more with them. Like they're bang on in terms of things. So digital adoption, if I take a step back and go into historical perspective, just the way Mujahid did. When I was born, there was no television, right? So forget the computers in the world and all that. When the television came, it's only my dad was the remote control. I was not allowed to touch the TV as well. Slowly, of course, TV came. Then when my son was born, the microwave was already there. So he's used to seeing a technology which was for us not there at that point in time. So that was innovation in my time. For him, it is granted. Watching a movie, go to a theater in those days, right? Today, Netflix, Prime, Amazon Prime, everything offers you all the content right in your home television, right? The children are born into it. So the key point is when your next generation, the Generation Z, is already seeing that has already been innovated some time back, right? For them, it is granted. So now we have to imagine what is their innovation going to be, right? The second key point here, the children today or the youngsters today are not afraid of technology. We were, or if we were not, we used to be made sure that you better be afraid. One slap from your father and that's it. You can't touch the TV. Okay. So that's what the reality we lived in. When I was studying engineering, I've seen the computer itself evolve. First year of engineering, x86. Second year of engineering, 286. Processor, I mean, right? The third year of engineering, 386 was invented. So that was yearly innovation. Fourth year, it was 586. But the moment I passed off engineering, Pentium 1 came. Now we are looking at Pentium 5, whatever, like Pentium 7, and 9 is coming in with the higher processing power, higher speed. So the point here is technology has been made available for digital adoption. And this technology is converging right down to your hands. In those days, we had huge computers, and I don't know how many of you have seen the big floppy drives, the 5.5-inch floppy drive. Have you ever seen that? Used to be only 16 KB of data space. And they had huge machines, like a huge villa full of machines just processing one single process. Today, that entire thing is converted into a laptop, and laptop can do much more better than that, right? So the case in point is your youngsters are smarter. And I think the couple of points from Mujahid and Khalid both, they don't use WhatsApp these days, youngsters. They use different mechanism. They use Snapchat, which I'm not aware. Because I wanted to talk to some of my nieces and nephews and they are not there on WhatsApp. They won't respond. Then I have to go to their level. I have to adopt first. When I came out of India back to Dubai first time, or Oman as the first time, so she had no way to means of communicating but with chatting. So she had to first learn computer. Second, learn how to log in into the chat messenger, which was Hotmail those days, Messenger, MSN. And the third was how to type and chat. So that was a need created for her because she wanted to communicate with me. And she had no other option but to adopt to technology. So that's how I define technology adoption. Right? Today, youngsters are extremely well versed with the technology than we are. I definitely put myself much below them because they are faster. They're better. Their understanding capability is very good. They have adopted much better. Now, coming to different regions that I've seen, it's unfair to compare. You can't compare the West with the East or the Middle East, right? It's really unfair. Each region has its own nuances. They all have their own curves when they come up, right? And with that, having said that, these Middle East is in this journey right now, and as I've seen in technology evolution, adoption is now reduced from decades to years to months and now weeks, I believe, right? We had a good pleasure of working with Emirates NBD when they launched Live 5-6 years back. I believe in the first 2 weeks itself, they had a success of 10,000 downloads on the app. That's how fast it was adopted. So it's become weeks. And as we go forward, it'll be days, I'm sure, and hours maybe, And I think the key point is all three of them have mentioned the same thing, like, have a outside in view rather than inside out view. That's how you will innovate. You solve the most important point, empower your customers to choose your service. And that's exactly what will define your digital adoption and going forward.